Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Debby Campbell Goodtime Show. Today, I have three great artists. They are known as the world's biggest tribute artists. And if you've ever been to Vegas to a Legends in Concert show, then I'm sure you may have seen them there or may have seen them in Germany, England, wherever. But anyway, today we're going to bring to the show Gary Moore, Steve McCoy, and Graham Patrick Doyle. Hi, Gary.
Hi.
Hi, Steve. Graham,
Hello.
you're sideways. You're sideways again, Graham.
And so are you, Debbie.
Can you turn it?
Is this good?
Can you turn it?
Okay, so yes, because I turned it for Greg. There we go.
Oh.
Is that any better?
Well, you're still elongated.
All right, you're elongated.
I'm
You
That's
can't
what I
make
told.
it wide.
He's always wanted to be elongated.
Now, this is a family show, boys, so let's make
okay.
sure.
Oh, we're
So
in trouble.
We don't want any censorship on YouTube or TV shows if we get this going here. But anyway, so Graham, we're going to leave you like that. If that, oh, there you go. Yay. Okay.
That's better. Okay, great.
All right.
He's
So,
big again.
so who do I start with? Let's see. I'm going to start with Gary because Gary, I've never met you before.
No,
Right.
right.
Now, you were born in Hawaii.
No, I'm a military brat. I was born in Japan.
Oh, because I read you were born in Hawaii.
Yeah, some people, you know how they miswrite stuff, you know.
Okay. All right. So
Yep.
you were born in Japan and your dad was in the,
My dad was in the Army,
okay.
you know, so I'm going to set the record straight. I was, you know, born in a poor white family and lived in Hollywood.
You sure you want to do this, Debbie?
I know, right?
I could get him back on track. Okay. So were you in the Army also?
Yes, I was in the Army also before I got in show business.
Okay. How many years were you in the Army?
I was in 10 years total.
Okay. And so, did you travel all throughout? You were a military brat. So how many?
Military brat, lived
Yeah.
in New York, Georgia. Before my dad retired, I lived in Germany for a couple of years. And my dad retired and I finished up high school here in Hawaii.
Okay. And so now you're living in Hawaii.
I live in Hawaii, married a Hawaii girl, never left.
Nice. Very nice. Also, what were you doing at the time before you started becoming a tribute artist?
Well, I was in the Army until 88, got out
Right.
in 88 and 80 and didn't have any idea what I wanted to do and got
Right.
involved. Just through connections, a lady offered me a job to work and be like a cast manager for a tribute show here in Hawaii. The guys was going to come here from Vegas.
Right.
And that's how I met Tony Roy and George Trillinger and a lot of the guys from Legends in Concert at that time in 89.
So that was the Legends in Concert show in Hawaii. Is that the one that Paul Revere was half owner of?
No, Paul and John Stewart came later. This show was brought by this lady, and Tony Roy left Legends. Some of the guys were just here for a little bit away from Legends, and we did the military bases.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I know Tony. I've met Tony. I've met him in Branson.
Yeah. He's speaking of it, he's in bad shape right now.
Oh, I heard that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear that. So Tony's came to you and said you should do Little Richard.
Hey man, you look like Little Richard. I said, shut up! I don't look like Little Richard. You know, and just I just got out of the Army and no hair and so,
Right.
And
Well, you weren't even listening to that type of music at that time, were you?
No, really wasn't. Yeah, I'm a Beatles fan, Rolling Stones, kind of guy.
Right.
And I mean, I knew the stuff, but I wasn't a big fan of the
Right.
the 50s
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
So, had to learn
Yeah.
it, and did it for Jerry's Kids, and it took off from there. A producer saw us, started working in a diner on the weekends for like $25 or $50 it was, and then once I got bored of doing it, and the money kept coming up. So and then I produced. Then the next thing I know, I was in Aruba for 6 months with Tony.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow. Now,
That was great. That was fun. That was.
where did Graham go?
Graham is. Oh,
He's missing. We've lost him.
I think Steve McCoy did something to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They always have issues. Those two.
All right. Let's go to Steve real quick. Steve, where were you born?
In New Jersey, South Jersey.
Okay. So now you were a landscaper.
Yes, yeah. I was a landscaper for I probably about 4 or 5 years. Yeah, I had a little company back home, and that's what I did.
Right,
But
but I guess you used to spend a lot of time entertaining your friends.
I always wanted to be in entertainment. I always wanted to, but I didn't think I could sing.
Okay.
So I never really pursued it.
Right.
They had a Tom Jones lookalike contest.
And where was this at?
Down in Atlantic City.
Okay.
Probably about an hour away from my house. Atlantic City is about an hour away. So they had a Tom Jones lookalike contest. A local radio station had this Tom Jones lookalike contest. Mm-hmm. And Tom Jones was going to be the judge. $2,000 first prize and a travel pass on TWA.
Oh, wow.
To anywhere in the United States.
Right.
And I went down because all my friends said, you look like Tom Jones. You'll do great. And so they said, yeah, that's what everybody's going to sing a song. So I did. I picked It's Not Unusual and danced, and the people went nuts, and I won first prize.
That's amazing. Now, Tom Jones, you said, was a judge?
He was the judge.
So
yeah.
Did you meet him that night for the first time?
It wasn't the first time. I met him when I was younger.
Okay.
And I had met him before, but to know, of no substance.
Right.
But it was after that. Then it was kind of funny because Jon Stewart was in Atlantic City at the time talking about Tony Roy. Tony Roy was there.
Wow.
And here's the funny thing. I went to see that show. Johnny asked me, he saw me on the evening news that night. Young guy wins a talent contest.
Right.
Tom Jones judge. Saw me on the news that night. And he was looking for Tom Jones. He was looking for a guy to do Tom Jones.
Wow.
He had asked me to come down to Atlantic City and see his show. And I said, people get paid to do this? He said, yo, you got to come see the show. I went and saw the show. Guess who I met? I'm a major Elvis fan. I loved Elvis. And I got to see Tony Roy, and I just flipped out. I just thought he was great. The show was incredible. He had, at the time, Donnie Ray Evans, who did Nat King Cole, opened the show. And it with his back to the audience, and all you did was hear the voice. And when he turned around, I got chills. It just blew me away. But the show was great. I mean, it was awesome. After the show, I went back and I met Tony Roy. And guess who was there?
The real Elvis?
No, this other guy that you have on the interview, this Little Richard guy.
Oh, Little Gary. That's funny. So that's the first time you guys met.
Yeah.
That's the first time we met. We didn't know he came popping out of the shower. He was in the shower hiding, and he keep jumping out of it. Like, oh my God, what did I? And then I got Tony Roy back here. What is this? Bubba. This is. And then I got Gary Moore jumping out of the shower. So it blew me away.
So that pretty much started your career as a Tom Jones tribute artist.
Johnny, I did the audition. I couldn't believe what he put me through. He tried to make me sing Delilah. I never sang, so no, you got to sing higher, and all this stuff. You know how Johnny is,
right?
And, always a show, spectacle, but a brilliant producer.
Yes, yeah.
And he's found some great talent, and he's cultivated a lot of talent. I didn't hear from him for about a month, and then he called me up and asked me to come out to Vegas
Oh, wow.
And I went out and did the audition that night. He put me in the show that night.
Wow.
And
That's awesome. I mean, Vegas, I mean, but then been in Atlantic City and Vegas and Atlantic City. I mean, you know, the lights are a lot, you know, bigger and brighter in Vegas, of course, I think, but.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. It was like a dream come true.
Right.
And I couldn't believe that there were other people that did this. I only did it in my house. I would practice in the mirror, you know?
Right.
So
right. And then you perfected the voice and everything. Oh my gosh, we have Graham back. Yay.
Sorry, folks. First time on Zoom. First time for everything, right?
Well, that's great because it's your turn. How perfect is that?
Oh, fantastic.
Wait. Graham missed the whole story about Steve.
He did.
I skipped the boring stuff.
He's going to have to watch the interview. He'll just have to watch the interview. So, Graham, Graham, you were born in Ireland.
Yes.
Okay, so what age did you start singing?
Oh, I don't know, around 16 or so.
Yeah.
I mean, I was singing in the bedroom as a kid, you know, but
okay. And what were you listening to?
Nothing too. Well, I was strictly an Elvis fan, or you know,
okay,
I would listen to some Roy
always.
Orbison. So I just, for some reason, I had that. I can remember him as a 2-year-old. My first impressions.
Wow.
I remember seeing him in 1970. Must have been 1973 for me. Something must have stuck, you know.
Right. So how old were you when you decided maybe this is an avenue that you would pursue?
Well, I wanted to sing. My father was a singer, and he would play in the cabaret lounges in Ireland. So I was inspired by him, and so I knew I wanted to sing.
Right.
But I think, of course, the Elvis thing took it a whole different way, you know. So I was 16. We left Ireland when I was 16 and moved to Canada, and got some regular jobs. But I wanted to pursue singing, and I didn't know that this was an art form. This the tribute artists,
right.
You know, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And when I came across that, I just put the two together. Obviously, it was like, well, you know, want to sing, huge Elvis fan, and just put those two things together, and found out there was a community and there was a whole artistry behind it.
Up in Canada.
This was in Canada, in Toronto.
Right. So is that where you started doing your impersonation?
So I
technical difficulty.
Yeah, I sat there, and oddly enough, then So I started out there in Canada, and pretty soon after, I had auditions with Legends in Concert in Las Vegas. And
nice. Wow.
I see this wonderful production in Las Vegas, and I was just blown away. I didn't know that this whole thing existed, you know, this whole other world. And
now, did somebody see you in Canada? Did somebody see you in Canada and suggest that maybe you go down that avenue, or?
Yeah, well, I mean, I sort of saw it in myself. It was something that because I would have my hair like crew cut or very, very short, and I would go. There was this one fella I went to audition for, and it was to drive a truck around Canada and sing and do Elvis. And thank God, thank God I didn't get the job, right? And you know, it was just to work for him. Basically, he had all the equipment. You know, just go out and do these. So I rock up and I basically bald. You know, my hair's so short. He's just looking at me, going, "What on earth? You know, like you're gonna do what?" So I guess you had to see it. You know, like.
Right.
But like I was so green, right? I had no idea. You know, hi there, I'd like a job. I'm going to be Elvis for you. You know, okay. And where's your costumes? And you know, yeah. Why do you look like that? But yeah, it was. But
right,
yeah, so get down to Vegas then, and that was a whole other thing. That was a new animal.
A whole new animal. Well, okay, let's go back to Gary for a minute. Gary, how long would you say it took you to perfect the Little Richard persona to be a tribute artist for Little Richard?
Took me years.
Years?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
But
when
yet you were
when I
still
started,
performing. Yeah.
Yeah, because every day is always a different day, and it turns into years to me. I mean, I can look back at the very beginning when I first started,
Right.
and I sucked.
We all do. Yeah.
You know, and I think I don't know how long I would say. I
How
think
can you say that when you've been doing it for like 30 years? I mean,
yeah. I mean, I think I'm good now.
Well, you've got to carry.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you've got to carry on because, you know, it's very sad that he's passed away recently.
Yeah, he just recently passed away. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so you've got to keep that memory, you know, keep him out there in the world.
Sure, yeah. As long as it's fun, you know. As long as we have a good time with it, and it's, you know, I think I talked to Steve just recently about how things have changed a lot, and it's gonna be a rough road to get back and do what we do, and how the people are gonna be, and with all this Corona thing. And I told Steve we're doing the show next month, and we're happy to do it. We're excited, but are the people gonna come out? Our fan base are older folks, high risk.
Right.
What's that gonna be like? And the venues, you only can have so many people now.
Right.
And, you know, so are they going to come out?
Yeah, I mean, the whole world. I mean, all the entertainment world is just pretty much what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. So did you ever meet Little Richard?
Met Little Richard a few times. The last time we did a TV show together, and that was probably the best time, I think, my highlight of my career. To sit and talk to him, perform with him on stage in LA.
Right. Was that the next best thing? Is that TV show? Right.
TV show, yeah.
Well, I'm so happy to have all of you on the show.
Thank you.
I love all
Debbie.
of you guys. You guys are the best. Greatest tribute artists in the world, no doubt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Gary, so pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, Deb.
Heard so much great things about you. And Steve, you too. Good seeing you again. It's been a few years.
Yes, thank you.
Give my love to Summer and your son.
I will.
Graham, I love you. You know that.
I love you too, Debbie. Love you guys too.
And your mom. Tell your mom
Same
hi.
to you.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
All
Guys,
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Take
Love you,
care.
Graham. See you soon,
Love
Steve.
you guys too. Love you, Gary. Love you, Steve. Love you, Debbie.
Thanks, Deb.
Thank you,
I'm glad I
Greg.
brought you three together.
Stay
That's
safe.
awesome.
God bless each and every one of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.